been talk and questions of having dialogue at this point. What is your thought on the state of rule of law following, everything we've seen with the protests in the country, and what the way forward or the way out of that impasse looks like?
Yvonne, I saw the president gazetting Katiba Day, and I was flabbergasted as to how foolish William Ruto think the people of Kenya are. Katiba Day? He has violated the constitution from the first chapter to the last one. Freedoms in the Bill of Rights have been taken away from the people of Kenya. These young people who were abducted, they were within their constitutional right to question government. Yet, and I have said many times, when the Gen Z started becoming very vocal, the president authorized the formation of a killer squad of 101 officers from the administration police who are seconded to the National Intelligence Service and given very high-skilled training in abductions, killings, and cover-up. And that is a squad that has caused havoc in this country. And it works under the National Intelligence Service. It was authorized by William Ruto. That is a squad that is responsible for gross violation of human rights. And what is sad, Yvonne, and this matter was raised with me in America, and I heard Akina Wetangula saying I went to talk bad about my country. I never talked bad about my country. I love my country. Kenya is a great country, and I told the people in America as much. But we have poor leadership. We have bad leaders. What is shocking, Yvonne, is after all this, a president who is elected by the people, a country with a constitution, a country that has a very strong Bill of Rights, can publicly issue orders for people to be shot in the leg and then taken to the hospital on their way to jail. It's a level of impunity. And I'm very happy that in the bill in the Senate in America, that issue has been raised, abductions and extrajudicial killings. Yeah? So, what is happening again when we had the last protest and Sabasaba? The state took over the protest and sent criminal goons to beat people, burn and torch property, and stage manage attack of police stations and courts. It was done by police. And then arrested innocent young people and charged them with terrorism. That court in Kahawa is a specialized court to deal with terrorism, a very serious crime that needs to protect our territorial integrity and make sure that the country is safe. But to make sure that these young people are intimidated and they have no voice and they will never again hold the government to account, they are charged with the terrorism. So as we speak, we are at the lowest in terms of violation of human rights. And that's where the Americans are having a great problem with us. And we have never reached where we are. And the situation is coming from bad to us. And it is laughable that the president, ahead of his address to the United Nations, he's going there to the United Nations General Assembly. He is trying to appease the international community because there is a lot of concern about extrajudicial killings and abductions. He is trying to hoodwink the international community by ordering Professor Makau Mutua to set up a team to compensate victims of extrajudicial killings and abductions.
That team has been formally constituted today.
Yeah.
What do you think of the role of that, compensating victims of protests
I think
and dating as far back?
I think it is good. I think we accept it's good to compensate people. But that should be the tail end. Yeah? We welcome compensation. But let's be decent. Let's not try to hoodwink the international community. Before you compensate victims, you must first accept that there were extrajudicial killings. The president should call a press conference and say, hey, my fellow Kenyans, I accept that there were extrajudicial killings and abductions, and this is wrong, and I apologize to the people of Kenya, and I say pole to the families and the people of Kenya. Number two, I have ordered the disbandment of the killer squad of 101 officers who have been abducting young children and killing Kenyans. Number three, I give an undertaking to the people of Kenya that under my presidency, never again shall we have abductions and extrajudicial killings. Number four, all those officers responsible for killing our young people and abducting them will be prosecuted. Finally, sad as it is, I accept that parents have suffered and they require some compensation. I therefore order a mechanism be put in place to compensate those families. And Yvonne, government cannot compensate people it has killed. We must give it to another neutral body, like the Kenya National Human Rights Commission. Because what is happening is, we have a petition before the ICC. If government identifies these victims, then we will not have witness protection. These victims will not be able to give evidence against William Ruto and the government. So this is a scheme to get to know who are the possible and potential witnesses for cases of crimes against humanity that we are taking to The Hague. So we are saying, if William Ruto is genuine, he must do what I've told you. He must first call a press conference and own up to the killings and the abductions.
All right, before
Two, Yvonne, he must disband that killer squad that has been doing it.
Okay.
And then he must de-gazette that team, pass this responsibility and the funds to the Kenya National Human Rights Commission, which is neutral. Because how do you get people who killed your child are the same people who are coming to compensate you? Even in terms of the way you relate. You know, the same person who shot your child is the one saying, oh, Mama, I'm sorry we killed your son. Yeah? Here is 100,000 to compensate you. How does it work? Let us have an independent body, the Kenya National Human Rights Commission, to be able to do it.
I want to talk about, and to switch gears a little bit and, talk about some politics for a moment and maybe go back to your return from the United States. You've been having the, what you call united opposition. We didn't see your colleagues at the airport to welcome you back.
They were not supposed to come.
Okay.
This was, I was just coming home. And I think when Kipchumba Murkomen threatened to arrest me, my supporters decided to come to the airport to make sure that I'm safe. It was a family affair. Of course, the government organized to attack me, and those were policemen in civilian, accompanied with goons. They actually wanted to kill me at Pipeline. They took a big boulder and dropped it on my car. I escaped death by a whisker. And I think they wanted to kill me. And what Murkomen should know, that if he had killed me, there will be no country. There will be a civil war. And I don't know whether they know what they are playing around with. This country, where it has reached, people should not have such jokes. Those are jokes that are not good. We have a country. We have a country, Yvonne. And myself, what I did, we were supposed to go through Jogoo Road all the way and greet people in Kamukunji.
Yes.
Me, I'm a very responsible leader. When I assessed the situation, and I realized that a lot of force had been mobilized, policemen in civilians with guns, accompanied by goons with knives and pangas and rocks, and a civilian aircraft with policemen was hovering in the air and coordinating with the civilian officers on the ground, giving them our movement. Like I wanted to pass through express highway. The police blocked me so that I go to where the trap had been set. When I analyzed the situation, I said, let's cancel going to Jogoo, because I don't want people to die in my name. I don't want women to be hurt. Even journalists, your colleagues, ask them, you were with them there, they were beaten. Their cameras were taken. They were, the money was taken from them. They were threatened with the knives. A lot of violence was meted against us, you know. And it is a trend, by the way. Even I heard the minister say, no, we were not aware of their movement. Yet he was saying 2 days before, we have credible intelligence, there will be violence. Of course, he had credible intelligence, there will be violence because they are the ones who are organizing the violence. He was predicting the same violence that he is organizing. So what I'm saying is, when I was away, they were trying to say when Rigiji is out of the country is peaceful. But my team went to Maraga. They were attacked by police with guns and guns. Again, they went to Gilgil. They were attacked by police and gangs. They went to Subukia. The violence that we have seen against DCP and myself is being carried out by the state. And I must say today, because it's important, I cannot report William Ruto to the police because they are under him. I cannot report the police to themselves. I cannot report Murkomen to the DCI because he is under him. So in the situation that I face with my members, I can only report them to the people of Kenya. You know, sometimes I hear Ruto saying, oh, go and write a statement. We write a statement to who? How can you go to report William Ruto to the police? How can you go to report Murkomen to the police? You can only, what I can do in my position is just tell the people of Kenya what is happening.
The National Police Service is independent?
It's not independent.
It's
because how can it be independent when Murkomen is telling them shoot to kill? When William Ruto is saying shoot in the leg? They are just pretending that they are independent. They are not. That guy called Douglas Kaja, he is from my home. And I told him the other day, you are a potential customer of ICC. Remember what happened to General Ali. William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen will use you. What is happening? I told him, Kaja, he's from my village. One of these days, you'll be in ICC. I want to tell these county commanders in Nairobi and elsewhere that we have set up a team to document all these violent activities. We have, like now what happened in Nairobi, we have documented it. The county commander, Nairobi, the sub-county commander, Embakasi, when we form government, they'll have to answer. Because why are they allowing police and goons to attack people? The county commander, Muranga, the sub-county commander, Kegumo, the sub-county commander, Gilgil, Subukia, we are documenting all these excesses. When this administration goes, and it will go, I want to assure you, there's a new administration. You will be held to account. So, and what happened in Central Police Station is a living example and testimony. The DIG Langat told people to torture Albert Ojwang. DIG has been absolved from blame. He's going back to work this week. The OCS, Central Police Station, the sergeant on duty, the corporal on duty are facing murder charges. I want to use this opportunity tonight to talk to our police officers. I want to talk to you as a father, as a leader in this country. Please stop being misused by William Ruto and Murkomen to do unlawful things because you'll answer. I want to ask our policemen to always be guided by 4 documents in the pursuit, in the course of their duty. The Constitution of Kenya 2010, the Penal Code, Chapter 6.3, the Criminal Procedure Code, Cap 7.5, and the Evidence Act, Cap 8.0. With those 4 documents, you can hold your ground. And even if your senior tells you to do something that is not covered by those 4 documents, you can stand your ground.
Okay.
But I want to say, if the government has decided to stop the one-term movement, they want to assassinate Rigathi Gachagua by using police in civilians and then blame it on goons, because I can see the pattern. What they have done, Yvonne, if you allow me, I have been attacked now 7 times. In November 2024, I was attacked by goons covered by police in Limuru. Up to today, nobody has ever been arrested. On 28th December, I was attacked by a police officer in Shamata. Nobody has ever been arrested. On 6th April, I was attacked by goons and police in the Mweki, inside a PCA church. Nobody has ever been arrested. You know? Another day, I was attacked somewhere else. Now, I was attacked at the airport. What I can see, I was analyzing here with security experts yesterday, is that the government want to set up a trend where that Rigathi Gachagua is always attacked by goons, so that one day, police in civilian can shoot him dead, and then say the goons, and then order an investigation to arrest the goons when he is dead. What I want to tell them is, and I want to be very cautious, I want to say, it's important I say, because I have seen the trend of what is happening. I want to tell William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen, please, don't ban this country. This is our country, we have no other.
Okay.
Let us be careful. Don't do stupid things.
Okay.
Yeah? Thinking that you are stopping the one-term movement, yeah? And create civil war in this country. Please don't.
We will also talk about that one-term movement in a moment, but there was something you said a little earlier, that when we form government, you were giving a message to the police. Let's talk about that now. In the United Kenya opposition, some of your supporters have been saying that of all the aspirants, you are best placed to run for president. Mr. Gachagua, can you confirm to us tonight if this is something that you are doing? Are you interested in running for president of the Republic of Kenya?
What a question, Yvonne. Am I interested? Why not? I am a candidate to be president of the Republic of Kenya. I am qualified. I have support. I am looking for more support. And I'll be on the ballot as a candidate for president.
Let's talk about you being on the ballot. How will that happen with your impeachment?
What do you mean? William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta had charges against him, crimes against humanity. In The Hague, he was elected as president. They
were not convicted. They were facing charges at the ICC.
Nobody has been convicted.
Do you think that's a fair comparison? The charges they were facing at the ICC.
What the Constitution of Kenya says. What the Constitution of Kenya says. What I just want to tell you what
yeah, for a moment. Can I ask the question?
Okay.
Okay. Do you think it's a fair comparison that they were facing charges at the ICC, facing charges? You, on the other hand, based on the laws of this country, faced charges at the Senate and were found guilty of some, not all, but enough to impeach you as deputy president.
John Weluke, the MP for Sirisia, was convicted and jailed for 74 years. Okay, before the elections. Okay, he filed an appeal before the High Court. When the elections came, the law is very clear that the Constitution guarantees your right to file for elective office, even if you have been convicted, if you have not exhausted the remedies available in law. Okay? Rigathi Gachagua has a matter before the High Court. It has not even been heard. It needs to go to the High Court, Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, until the Supreme Court says Rigathi Gachagua was impeached properly.
And if that happens, if the Supreme Court,
I'm saying if the Supreme,
and that's what I'm saying.
If it says yes,
if you go all the way,
that's what I'm saying.
And the Supreme Court says oppose your impeachment.
If it does yes, if the Supreme Court opposes my impeachment, then I cannot run.
Okay.
It has not. The High Court has not. The Court of Appeal has not. Until that has happened, Rigathi Gachagua remains free to file for office. And I don't want to discuss matters before court, but even the judges will take judicial notice of what is going on and how this guy called Rigiji was impeached. You know, things are there. I don't want. That's what I'm saying.
Because I don't want us to.
But you see, you are the one. You are the one who brought things that were before the Senate. Those speeches were before the Senate.
No.
I was tried on the same issue, so you are trying me the second time.
No. Those speeches were not as a result of the Senate. They were as a result of what you had said before. They were at the Senate.
You are trying me a second time.
Was I trying you a second time?
Because you were asking me to make comments on matters I've already made comments before.
No, we're holding you to account for statements that you make, Mr. Rigathi.
Before I exhaust all the remedies available to me by law, and you know the law is very good. It gives somebody enough remedies so that you get fairness. Fairness, let me tell you what they say in law. they say it is okay for a guilty person to be freed, but it's unacceptable for an innocent man to be jailed.
And we shall wait to see
that
what
is
the
why,
court say about that.
That's why there are four mechanisms.
Okay, I want us to leave it at that.
Yes.
And we wait to see what happens in the court of law and how far you take
Yes.
the process. But I want to hear your views on your